what is your estimate? Its base is 3.5.
Yeah, just because I have experience with the 600K.
Okay, its base is 3.5. It already turbos to 3.9, and I ran some temperature tests today with.
That's a 6600.
Yeah.
On an AIO, I've been able to get 4.7.
Carlos is thinking 4.7.
I got 4.6 right now, and that's just through the easy method.
The easy, you didn't even have to try. So we're turning this stuff to manual, boys. Oh, that's the base clock. So
that's a gigabyte preset.
Oh, 4.6 is? Wow. I wonder what the presets are in this. I've never used presets. So, what do we want to try? So it already goes out to 3.9. I would say, what should we start at? 4.2 should be like no problem. Let's see what it takes to get to... What? Oh, it's the multiplier. Derp. So, 42. If you guys have never overclocked before, and you have an overclockable chip, such as an i5-6600K, you'll take yourself into your BIOS there. What?
Are XQs overclockable?
Yes. Yes. Carlos, you know this already. But once you get into your BIOS, you gotta go to the advanced mode, and then depending on what brand of board you have, it'll call it something else. Asus is AI Tweaker. But you find your settings, and the first thing we did was put the core ratio or the core multiplier up to 42, which in turn is 4.2 gigahertz once it turbos. But
So we're not doing megahertz?
well, it's 4200 megahertz, Carlito. Do we have any questions? It goes to 4.5 easy. So we got confident people here. I guess we'll have to see. I wanted this, like, the temperatures today made me want to deal with this chip. So a lot of you guys are, like, all into different, like, voltage modes, but I've always used manual. And then I'll show you guys what else I do. But I've always used manual, and we'll just see if this thing likes... let's not do 1.3. You guys think we do 1.25 is going to be too low? Don't you think?
Do 1.28.
Okay, 1.28, Carlito says. Let's see what happens at 1.28. And another thing that I always check, go into your advanced settings, I believe. Yeah, it should be. Where is the power? No. It's not in advanced. It's right here. It's in internal CPU power management. Let me click it. Okay. So, we gotta leave this on. Oh no, these are actually just the settings we do leave on. It is external digipower control. So CPU load line calibration. That's kind of like a big thing, and Gamers Nexus, I forget, Buildzoid I think is his name, does like a really good video that explains like all about CPU LLC, and it's pretty good to watch because there's a lot to learn about it. I'm not going to go through all of it tonight, but I've never actually left it on auto. I think on my PC I have it on like 6, but let's start off Trent's with 5. That is probably high for some people. I believe recommended is like start right in the middle. And this basically just helps if you want to like read this whole little... Asus is actually nice, gives you a little tool tip. But it just helps smoothen out the voltage that your processor sees. So you don't have like dips, and then you could have instability with these dips, and you don't want that. So far all we've changed is the ratio, or the multiplier, to 42. We got that. We manually input a voltage of 1.28, and we also changed the load line calibration to 4, level 4. So we're going to save changes and reset.
Generally speaking, to start, I would have started with 3.
3? Was that Lightning Man? I think that was Lightning Man. He says 3. Should we go with Lightning Man's recommendation? Okay.
Generally speaking, 4 is always going to overshoot your voltage against the meter, depending on the minute.
See, with like, I think it works differently for every board too. So now we're going to boot back into Windows, guys, and we'll test this, and I'll show you what I use to test it. But with Asus's, like, It seems to me like it almost works like a manual offset more than anything. Like a lot of boards, I think just like put like a giant percentage on top if you run a really high LLC, and then you can like really do some bad things. But like with my 6700K, I've always ran it at like LLC 6 or 7, which is really high. But I manually input like 1.36 volts, and it'll only ever get up to like 1.41, I think. And at that, like it's been delidded, and it doesn't have a. Oh no, does Trent seriously have a password? This is great. So we're gonna call Trent. Trent. I'm sure he can hear me, but.
By the way, you need to disable the view settings so it doesn't log, according to Hank.
The view setting so it doesn't clock? What? Make sure to disable the view setting so you don't. We don't have view in here. Sorry, no view yet. We still got more cryochills to test though very soon. Trent, what's your password?
Don't say it out loud.
Yeah, because he was gonna come over and hack his computer. What?
I'm on my way.
What is it? Oh. What? I think so. It sounds like you're eating your pillow. There's a space in between? There's an apostrophe? Just come and type it in quick. Okay. Jesus. Nope, that didn't work. Come and type it in. Capital D. Yep. Yep. There we go. Thanks, buddy. Now we're in. So, to get this going, I already got some apps today. I was prepared. I just didn't know his password. Beyond that. So,
Are you gonna remember it?
yes, I remember it now. I don't know why I use the password. Like, I don't have a password on my computer. Run. So I like to use hardware info 64 to look at temperatures and stuff. Oh, this is this little monitor that I built. That could monitor the temperatures just fine, actually. But we have hardware info 64 here as well, which is my preferred method of like actually, like this is IDA 64, which is really good and all, but this stuff is pretty cool in hardware info 64. I mentioned it before, but it's really nice to be able to read like the current, minimum, maximum, and average values, and you can like clock it, you can reset it, and everything like that. So it's good stuff. Now, to first test the stability, I always just like start by running Cinebench. So this is a simple test. It does stress the CPU a bit, but it's nothing that like you'd want to use to like actually test your system's stability. But we're just gonna see what this overclock did so far. So we're just gonna hit run on this guy, and we're gonna watch some temperatures and whatnot. We'll make sure, yep, it's hitting 4.2. So our overclock worked. Yay, buddy. And I think before today I ran this stock and it scored like a 691, so let's see what happens. I don't really like using Cinebench score to like actually measure CPU performance, but it is what it is. It works. So what do we got? Make sure to disable the view settings still. People are pretty upsetty spaghetti over Jay's video apparently.
What? About the view?
Yeah. That's what it
Why are
seems
they
to be.
upset over it?
I don't know. I actually haven't even watched it all yet, but apparently Jay talks some truth about the view. And people don't like always hearing the truth, so.
Apparently not. About damn time it happened to him.
It's about damn time. I don't know. I mean, that sucks, but yeah, it is what it is. I think Ryan is streaming right now. He's working with some cryochills. He's got cryochills in his system, and we'll be working more with cryochills soon. He's got some cleaners that he's going to send to me. So, see, that's why I hate using Cinebench, because I swear like we scored 691 earlier, but we got 652 there. The big deal is the max we saw on the CPU was 64 on one of the cores, and it didn't actually crash or blue screen during it all, so I'd say that's successful. And since we're just starting overclocking, I don't think you really have to try that hard to test it right away. Once you get to like an actual speed or a frequency that you like, you can start stress testing it a lot harder than just Cinebench. But for now, that's good enough. And we're going to go for more. We got to go for more. So 1.28 was a pretty decent voltage. Like, I'm wondering, because like before today when I tested it, like it was hitting the low 70s when it was just on stock, but it had auto voltage. So I'm betting that even 1.28 itself is lower than...
You might be able to keep it at 1.28.
Yeah, I'm actually just going to leave... What? We missed the booth. The first rule to overclocking is you have to be able to get into the BIOS, and we already failed. So, keep trying.
Just use AMD Master utility.
No, I do not like using utilities at all for overclocking. That is like one thing that if you guys want to take anything from tonight is don't use utilities. They're kind of...
It's always that.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't know. I think it works for some people. Hey, we got in. So.
She said.
Oh boy. So we're already at 4.2.
Utilities, they'll just crash the ship.
Should we just go for... Let's just try for 4.5 right here and just see what happens. And leave it at 1.28. LLC is still 3. So I actually didn't see what the voltage was going to. I should have. Because Hardware Info 64 should read that too. The thing with Skylake is, like, they always say, like, don't go above 1.4, and you're pretty much golden. Although, for, like, 24/7 use, everyone's like, stick to, like, 1.35, and then you'll be okay. But, I don't know. Like I said, mine's overclocked, and it hits, like, 1.41 or 1.42 volts, and it's been running like that for over a year. So it's fine. It'll be okay. No questions. Is my Restream chat broken? Or are people just really quiet tonight?
Everybody's quiet.
1.3.
Well, they better start talking once we get the thermal paste out.
That sounds
One-
Jesus.
The 1.35 is like the safe that like pretty much guarantees you're not going to fry it. That's what
Yeah.
it is. That's why
One
everybody
point,
recommends that.
yeah, because I mean, like, after I deleted mine, I actually, like, pushed it as far as I could, and I got 5 gigahertz on my 6700K. It just took, like, 1.5 volts, and it didn't kill it. I mean, it's not gonna... As long as the temperature isn't getting too crazy, like, you'll be okay, but it was hitting, like, the 80s, so I was like, yeah, I'm good. I don't feel like running this thing in the 80s all the time. I mean, not all, but just for... 80s. Okay, so we got it at 4.5. It actually did boot, so we've gotten that far. Let's see what the actual voltage is. I could hide a lot of this stuff. So VCore 1.264. So maximum is 1.28 so far. So we gotta watch that and the temperature. So we'll open up Cinebench again. We'll just do one Cinebench run. And we'll actually just see how far we get with that. Where did Hardware Info go? Oh, it would be really nice to have multiple monitors right now, but oh well.
What's your memory speed?
This stuff is... I'd have to look at the Hardware Info thing again. I don't know, let's see. Memory speed? Memory. It's probably reading half because it's, you know, DDR, so it's 2400. It's
Wait.
pretty cheap RAM. It's reading, that's how it reads out in Hardware Info. It's, if you know what DDR is, double data rate. So you
Yes.
double it, yeah. It's 24, it's not 1200 megahertz RAM, just like super terrible, like what is going on? I don't even think DDR4 comes that slow. So let's run this bad boy again, and ooh, it froze. Nice. Okay, so we might have to add some voltage to get. Yep. So there we go. You guys.
already got some instability.
Well, we just went from 4.2 to 4.5 and didn't do anything with the voltage. So it definitely needs some more voltage. If you see that, like just instant lockup as soon as you start the test, it definitely needs more voltage. So, I mean, it didn't even start the test. If it had started the test and like got what partway through, then I wouldn't be like, you could probably just play with LLC or something and maybe get it stable. But if it just hard locks instantly, you know it needs some help. So we're gonna help it. Let's see what happens if we put it on 1.3. Okay.
Just be careful. Micron memory chips are very susceptible to VRM noise.
Wait, what? Oh, really? So, like, you're saying that the memory could have an issue?
Yeah, if you're running too high voltage with not enough, CPU capability, you could run the VRM noise out, impact the memory.
Show it to me, please, so I know if it's live. Yeah, what's up, Jeff Romano? The rise and fall is what DDR should do, yeah. DDR prices are still pretty cool. I haven't even input a password yet, so cool. Thanks, Windows. So, we put it at 1.3 now. We still have load line calibration at 3. So that, in my opinion, does have a little bit of room, but I didn't get to even see what the voltage hit last time with it at level 3. So we'll see. So many things, Trent. We gotta settle down on the programs, man. So, let's try it again. No, we don't need Steam. So we're gonna run this bad boy and... Ooh, it didn't crash this time right away. Yay. Oh, now it did. Is 4.5 really that hard? Damn, boys. Yeah, it froze already. This time I got a hard reset it unless... Nope, there we go. Dang! Wow, we gotta do more than 1.3 apparently. We gotta try harder.
Just go 1 through 5.
Just 1.5. From 1.3 to 1. That's how you overclock, people. No, usually they say like go up by only like what is it, 0.5 millivolts then, or is it 0.05? Yeah, 0.05 to 0.1 millivolts at a time. Technically, like we took a huge step there, going 1.28 to 1.3. But as I kind of said in the beginning, that this chip should be fine even past 1.5. Or 1.35. So, I don't know, let's try 1.32. We don't need to add too much voltage, because then it takes forever to get it back down after you do figure out a good clock. So, we'll see how far we can actually get this chip before, like, temperatures and stuff gets too crazy. But, overall, probably just leave it at like 4.5 or 4.6. I don't know. Trent's not a super huge, like, intense PC gamer, so it's not like he needs like a super crazy overclock. But are we ready for some thermal paste? I wonder. There's some cool people on Facebook, it seems. Why? I didn't enter the password, okay? So I guess I could do the trivia question because it may take you guys a minute. I did kind of mention it. I almost hinted at the... What's that? You're answering in whatever chat you're in. You can answer the trivia question in the Facebook chat, or in Twitch chat, or in YouTube chat. And
Discord?
I guess you could answer in Discord too, if you wanted. However, then I'd have to look in another place, and then you're just losing your chances, man. There's no timestamps for Facebook, so, well, actually after the fact there are. So, it's probably best to just use one of the regular chats. But we'll get Cinebench here, and we'll get hardware info here, and we'll run this, and hopefully not blue screen this time. And then we will ask the giveaway question. I gotta mute myself on Discord, otherwise you guys get to cheat, and I ain't having no cheaters in my stream tonight. Ain't that right, Carlos? I know you want to cheat.
I'm not cheating.
Yeah, you are. Okay. So,
I'm not cheating.
I shall start the test, and I'll mute my mic on Discord, and we will do the giveaway. I hope y'all are ready. So, the trivia question is, what was different about Skylake overclocking that all the previous generations of Intel chips did not have? Well, at least all the first through fifth generation did not have this feature for overclocking. Let's hear you guys' answers. It shouldn't be too hard to figure out. No. Like, this is actually having to do with the CPU's architecture. So it was part of the design of the CPU itself. Okay. I got Discord open again, or the mic unmuted, but I ain't giving you guys the answer.
Yeah, I have no idea.
You have no idea. Come on, you guys can do this.
And I mean, Intel did a couple things with the architecture, but I forgot what it is. I know one of them.
It specifically affects overclocking. Okay, so we technically got a higher score. That's good. And we saw a top temp of 70 and the top voltage of 1.312. Wow. So it's like undervolting itself almost. So we could probably play with the LLC more, in my opinion.
Isn't it the turbo?
No, turbo, every previous generation always had turbo. But this is specifically a setting you can change in your BIOS, and you can overclock your CPU using this feature.
Is it the cache voltage / clocking? Something like that?
No, you should be able to change the cache voltage on most. It might depend on your board, but you should be able to do that on most previous generations too, as far as I know.
I know that's a weird...
Before you could use this to overclock, but it was not effective before Skylake because they changed the architecture. How did I miss? That is the shortest freaking post ever. Like I was hitting the delete key, like it literally popped up between. Nobody's got it yet? Come on. It's not that difficult of a question.
Unless you never touch an Intel CPU's BIOS.
This is true.
No,
this
I
is true.
touch them a lot, but like,
Okay, this lets you overclock non-K skew chips. There's another hint. So, 1.32 words.
Non-K?
Yeah, it would let you overclock non-K skews. For a while, Intel got upset about this. So let's try for 4.7.
Oh, you mean
the
Ooh.
block rate.
Oh, whoops.
the base?
You could
Actually,
the block frequency you could adjust.
Yes, the base clock. But you have to type your answer in chat. Somebody's got. If somebody types in chat, they can steal your answer right now.
Oh no.
I win.
Okay. He typed it in chat, in Discord. So yes, it is the base clock frequency. This used to be, the base clock frequency for previous generations of Intel CPUs used to be tied with the face clock, or FCLK. Meaning, which is like your PCIe lanes and everything. So if you overclock the base clock, you're essentially like overclocking your graphics card at the same time almost. It doesn't really work that way. But it made it like impossible to use the base clock to really get much out of your CPU. However, with the base clock on Skylake, and I believe every generation since then, the base clock's been separate. And
Carlos, you suck.
and it allows you could, like I said, I actually myself, actually overclocked an i5 6500. I left that thing at like 4.6, and I just used the base clock to overclock it. It took like 130 or 132 or something for like the base clock, because you start at 100, and the only thing with the base clock though is that it's still tied to your RAM speed. So when you're overclocking your CPU, you're overclocking your RAM at the same time. But I mean, there's like things like XMP and all that shit, anyways. So there's a lot more to RAM that I've never even gotten into. Like I just use XMP, but I should learn how to manually overclock it. And it looks like we froze on load. So apparently 1.35 on 4.7 was not enough. So I guess we'll reboot.
36.
Yep. 1.36. I say we go up to like LLC 5 too, because like LLC 3 was almost undervolting it. Because did you guys see that? I was at 1.32 and it max hardware info style was 1.312, so it wasn't even hitting 1.32. Like I said, Asus's LLC seems to be different from other boards. At least after I watched that video that Buildzoid did and explained it. Like, and I even understand that like you got to be careful with it, but like with Asus's, no matter what I do, it seems like only once you get to like 5 or 6 or 7 that it actually starts upping your voltage.
Yeah, that's because it's a hell of a lot less vigorous, which is actually good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's just it's not even like a crazy. It doesn't seem to do much. It just like offsets it a set amount, as far as I can tell. So now we got it at LLC 5, 1.36 volts, and 4.7 gigahertz. So let's see what happens with that. We shall see. Hopefully it doesn't freeze again. No.
It's gonna freeze. Just Carlos is still on answer.
It better not. It better not freeze. We're good so far. There's the super fast post. So what else we see? Yep, Nick Mock actually said it right after Carlito. But Mr. Lightning Man, you will have to message me on Discord. Since you had to answer on Discord, you can message me on Discord and I will get your tube of Thermal Grizzly Kryonaut.
Yeah, that got Nick Muck is me. There, Matt. Just got it.
Oh wait, did he get it before me?
Wait,
Rip.
Nick Mock did?
No, I did
No,
the first time.
you got
Technically.
it on Facebook there, Carlos. But I said in Discord first.
At 7:24, what time? Oh, it already froze, boys. I just noticed on the OBS replay. So I guess we need still more voltage. Is 4.7 really that hard?
I mean, try doing base OC first.
Yeah, actually I might do 45 for the multiplier, and and we will do. Let's see what it'll take for the base clock. So we'll do 45. So if you look right up here, it says target, and that's what you got to read out. So what would 105? So there we go. 4.725 would be 105. So technically we do like 104.75. The nice thing about base clock overclocking is that you can go in really fine increments. So as you saw, it just dropped at 12 megahertz. So technically, we could do 104.5, and we'll be at 4702. So there we go. There's the 4.7 that people say I should be able to hit. We're still at 1.36 and LLC 5, and I think those should be fine. Well, we'll see. We'll see. It didn't actually boot at 4.7, just straight multiplier 4.7. So we'll see. What is up with Twitch and YouTube chat? Is my restream just broken? Is anybody else watching on YouTube or Twitch?
Twitch has got nothing.
Wow. What is up tonight?
There's like 2 people viewing.
That's just goofy.
So.
I mean, we got some friends on Facebook, so we're going to keep pushing this thing, but that's sad. What happened to Twitch? Wow. Bad pool caller, it says, but I think it just is upsetty spaghetti about trying to run 4.7 without enough voltage. So, should we keep going for 4.7, guys, or should we just see if we can get 4.6 with the current settings?
That's what I
Well, I mean, all it takes is more voltage. I mean, you can achieve whatever you want as long as you put enough into it. But as far as actually getting it that far, I don't think it's necessary. Jesus, can we get into the BIOS at least? It really didn't like the base clock overclock. Oh well. This time is the charm. We might have to fully power it down. It does not like this 4.7. Hardly. Here we go. And blue screen.
We got spicy chicken and Twitch.
Spicy chicken? What up? Nice. So what would 103 be? That's 4.6, so 102.5. There we go. So we're at 4.6 gigahertz right there with 102.5, 45. So let's see how that fares with the 1.36 volts and LLC 5. It's really not liking much after that 4.5 though. That's kind of funny. That's sad. I wonder if it's just not the best chip.
Look at the lottery.
That's true. But oh well, we'll find out. We just need to get an LN2 pop, then we could really test it.
Give me 1 second. I'm switching to my computer. I could probably help with this a little bit.
Help with what?
The overclocking.
Okay. What's up, Carlito? Why are you saying woo in Twitch chat?
I just said,
Woo. Good work. Good work. So, we're back. Hey, it actually booted, we think. So let's get
What'd you go down to? 4.6?
4.6, yeah. Gotta remember his password again. There we go, look at that. We're in Windows. Why do like a million freaking Chrome tabs open? So we got Cinebench. I mean, we're just starting with Cinebench still, just because we have no idea how far it'll make it, and there's no point in setting up like an actual stress test if we don't even know if it'll pass Cinebench.
Memory right, correct?
Ooh, no. The memory should be fine. I actually didn't double check, but I'll see. It's only 102.5. So.
That's enough to push it at 2600. So that's micron. It doesn't like going above its spec too much.
Yeah, it's at technically it's at 2460 now. So it's probably at 2466 technically.
Probably not a valid multiplier for the XMP timings.
I can double check that after this. We'll see if the clock
I mean,
even
I'm
works.
sure Intel's more forgiving about it for the Ryzen, but in general.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's nothing like Ryzen, and you have to have exact spec'd out memory. Like I've never had the base clock throw off the RAM so much that causes instability. I just never.
That's the whole thing.
Like I said, I would back when I used to just use the base clock on that non-K chip, I did have to downclock the XMP or whatever because like I said, it was like 132 or something. So now we're hitting 1.34. Ooh, look at that! An error. I don't think that's good. I've never seen Cinebench just pop out an error and close though. Should we just try it again? Like, what was that? What kind of temp did we see? 74?
CPU then. If the computer's hanging, that's memory.
Yeah.
It's not
So we may have to double. Yeah, look at that. App data roaming. After you say it, okay.
I
Weird.
remember to do that too, but that could be less vicious.
That's really weird. Why is it doing that? That you think that has to do with the memory?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just goofy. Oh well. I guess we have to play with the memory some, or we could just go back to not playing with the base clock.
Like I said, just to buy the 2400, buy whatever base clock you want to use, and set the memory to that.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how I do it for Ryzen. Do I want to hit 3400? Okay, divide by base clock I would use until I get closest to that value.
Yeah.
Generally, if it's like 1 or 2 megahertz
What the?
above or below where you want to hit, it's fine. Timings to that should be the same as if it was solid.
Yeah.
But if you start doing in intervals of 10, then your TRF see if it ends up needing to be changed, and that can start having you have wandering bits.
Fair enough. Why? What are we saying in chat, friends? Nothing.
I don't know. I don't have everything. I just threw in my 970, but probably
Okay.
to get things working, so I'm a little discombobulated here.
Oh, you just got your cryo chills in?
Well, no, I had the cryo chills. Like I said, I didn't screw in a fitting all the way, so I had it debunk the back with my PI, so I had that out. And I just threw my 970 back in the start up the computer.
Yeah, so we'll try 2460, as I mentioned. Leave this like that. Oh, wait.
No, this isn't Space G. Space G's.
Yeah. Manual. So we'll try that. That should be okay. I think. We'll see if that includes manually setting the RAM timing. Let's see if that fixes the little hang we had. Spicy Chicken still chilling in Twitch chat.
Spiciest chicken.
Well, that's unfortunate. Maybe a Thursday night people will get more excited when we get out, get back to the 420 Rad mod, which I have right here. So I got the piece of plastic all cut. Well, the new piece.
Well,
So
I guess we were trying to overclock at 600K, but
yeah, no, we're still overclocking it. I was just showing people what's up next.
okay.
Crap out of the silicone lottery.
Yeah, this one is not silicon lottery material in my opinion.
But like I said, my prime memory also has in it. You're not gonna get 47 if you don't think so.
Yeah, it could be that. We'll see if we can get 4.6. If not, 4.5 was stable at like 1.3 volts or something stupid, so.
Even at 4.5, you're doing good.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like I said, Trent doesn't like
for
need.
regular gaming.
Yeah, Trent doesn't even need. He doesn't even stream or anything like that. So like, there's really. I mean, you really don't benefit in games entirely too much from getting some sick OCs going. Why didn't hardware info open?
Yeah, so long as you're above the curve where your CPU is bottleneck like your GPU. You should be
Yeah,
fine.
exactly. And any 4-core, 4-thread CPU shouldn't have too much issue these days. Is hardware info like dead? What did hardware
then
info do?
Then you overclock the GPU to put that bottleneck back.
Yep.
Pretty much.
We could do GPU overclocking too one night if people are interested. However, it seems like not that many people cared about. Well, apparently we can't even use hardware info right now, so we'll just use IDA64 on the bottom right. That works too. So right away, we're out the gate at 70C, and it looks like it froze.
Jesus. What cooler is he running?
An H100i. Yep. But that's still the clock. Well, we'll put it back to 4.5 and see what happens.
I haven't. That H100i might be bad because there's a lot of them that were bad.
It's actually mine, and it's like a year and a half old now. But it still works. Like the pump's still going. Everything I checked today, it still works technically.
What were you hitting at that?
It just spiked to 70 at the beginning. But that's not even, like I said, compared to like what it was doing today, that seems just fine. Like today overall it got to like 70C, which you wouldn't think an H100i would be that warm. However, it could just be the fact that I'm using I'm just using, it's in push pull technically, but the fans don't even go over like 1,000 RPM, so
4.6 on mine with 2 fans on it, not push pull, just 2. I'm pulling 28C like mid idle and full
thing is
load. I'm
froze
at like
again.
40.
Really? With an H100i?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I really don't think
45 degrees C on my H80i was on a 9590. and then the CPU is at 50 degrees. So if that's doing that, and you're not having good times, that's for sure. Something with that radiator is not right.
It could be he hasn't cleaned it in like a year either, so I should honestly tear it apart and look. I haven't touched this thing since I built it. I built it last spring and I just gave it to him and I was like, here you go, man.
Either that or the pump died, because those things.
No, the pump was still, like, I can even double check in the BIOS. I was reading the pump out, the RPM and everything. I could double check it. I would almost want to, like, as much as Corsair Link sucks, I almost want to use Corsair Link to double check it, but... Oh, we didn't even get into the BIOS. We missed it.
Fuck it, I'll join you guys. I'm lonely.
Hey,
What's up, Show to Pop?
But,
How's it going, man?
Good.
We're overclocking my roommate's CPU. What are you doing?
I was just watching a Linus Tech-Tips video on flute playing.
On flute playing.
Hey,
Nice. Very nice.
hey, not sponsored.
Not sponsored at. Thank you very much, Show to Pop. Okay, so let's just go back to nothing with this. Just because, like you're saying, the memory could be causing stupid issues. We'll just leave that stock that way. And we should not need 1.36 volts. We will use... Should we go all the way down to 1.3? No.
I go to 4.4.
4.4 volts, no problem.
Oh no. 4.4 ratio.
What's the CPU?
Wait, 4 point... You want me to go 44 for the multiplier?
Yeah, and then put your base clock back just to get us booting again good.
But it wasn't booting at all ever since I messed with the base clock.
Yeah, put the base clock back to stock.
Yeah, and I'll do 45 because we had it at 45 before. It was fine. I was just wanting to see how much further we can push it, and it seems like it wants a decent amount of voltage to get anywhere past like 4.6. So, which is actually on par for these chips. Like,
Yeah.
the Skylake chips were never meant to like hit 5 gigahertz like all the KB Lake chips were all destined to be, even though they output tons of heat when they do it, but who cares?
What chip is it? What chip are you doing?
6600K.
6600K.
Yeah. Because like my 6700K, I never pushed it like past 4.8 until I delidded it.
I
And
haven't even overclocked mine at all.
your 6700K?
No, my CPU.
What do you have? What do you have?
1800X.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Hey Matt, what do you recommend setting for air cooled for the 6700K?
Air cool? You could easily run that at like 4.5, 4.6 if you have like a 212 Evo or something.
I got a Cryorig H5 Ultimate.
Oh, you can probably run like 4.7, 4.8. It depends. Like, my overclock is kind of skewed on mine just because I run my 6700K at 4.7 core and cache. So, like, it actually takes a decent amount of voltage to get your cache there, too. So, if you're not doing that with your cache, you could easily run, like, depending on how good your chip is and if you delit it or not, you could easily hit 4.8 or higher.
Yeah, no delit on this thing.
No delit, huh? Hey, this time hardware info worked. We still have all these programs popping up, though. Thank you, Trent.
Oh, I run a whole bunch of shit on my own system.
Yeah, but like, I mean, I have whatever my default programs too, but I don't have like 16 blank tabs of Chrome popping up when I start my PC.
Oh, I do every time, yeah.
But there's so many though, it's like ridiculous. So let's see if we can get this thing to run. It's 1.34 volts, and we have 4.5 gigahertz. Well, yep, it hit 4.5 for maximum. It says right there. So
I've got 60 tabs open in Firefox.
wow, 60. What? Why?
Another, because I can't.
That background though. Do we have a Smash fan? Because Trent, my roommate, this is my roommate's PC. He's a Smash fan. That's where the background comes from.
Smash is good. Smash is
My
fine.
CPU at the moment best. I got too many streams going at once.
Too many streams. Well, I appreciate you watching this one. It's actually looking like it might make it, boys. And you blue screen. Every time. Damn it. No, that's going pretty good. And let's see. We have 1.31 volts. I feel like that's not reading the right output. Yeah, 1.344. That seems about right. So, 697. That was like the same score as before. What was our temperature? So yeah, 72, 73. That's not that bad. I could sit here and keep lowering the voltage. However, it's honestly not too terrible. I could, what I would do next to make sure this is like stable and all well and good is I would run Real Bench next. ASUS Real Bench is one of my favorite stress tests for CPU stress testing. If you're doing GPU, I would definitely run something like Firestrike. But for this, I would just set the stress test, and to start, since we just got it to get through Cinebench, I would say try a half hour and see if it'll be stable for half an hour, because Cinebench, Real Bench will like work your system or your CPU pretty dang well. So if it can pass a half hour, then you can like probably sit there and like try to lower the voltage a little bit, and then keep increasing the amount of time that you would run this test. So we'll start this up and we'll see how far it gets, but we won't sit here and watch the whole thing. But and watch your temperatures and stuff like that. We got the temps right over here actually. So I'll sit here and watch this and make sure it is stable and see how much room we still have to play with. Because half the battle of overclocking is like finding your max frequency, and then after that trying to lower the voltage down to still be able to maintain that frequency that you want. And that way you get the highest clock, or whatever your ideal clock, and the lowest voltage. That way you can have hopefully optimal thermals. But if you're like running ITX, it really doesn't matter what you do. Temps are me crap. Just kidding. But
What voltage you guys recommend if I was to say do 4.5 on 6700K?
ooh, like hardly nothing. Like I'd start at 1.3 and see if you couldn't go down.
Honestly, I always start high of whatever CPU it is and just work my way down. There's no
Yeah.
starting.
Yeah, to be honest, like I kind of did like the Linus Tech Tips method almost, of like slowly bumping up both of them, the voltage and the clock. When honestly, what I would have done if this was my chip and I really didn't care about it, I would just start at like 1.35 or 1.36 and then try to get that frequency that I want. And if it doesn't, get there with that kind of voltage, then I can reconsider my plan, I guess, for what frequency I would like to run.
Yeah, well, I don't. Considering this is my gaming / work system, so I'd rather not cry it on accident.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, like I said, this isn't my rig, so I didn't really just want to start like pumping voltage into it and trying to just max this thing out immediately. Even though you can do that to a certain degree, and then, like I said, like just slowly kind of work your way down to something that's reasonable. So it's already saying we're hitting 76 on that bad boy, when I really think that this thing actually probably just needs a pretty decent dusting. And I actually never. This is the Cooler Master Box, like the cheap version. And now that I'm looking at the front panel, I'm almost guaranteeing you that the reason why this is getting so warm is because of that front panel. And it's just closed off acrylic.
Yeah, no, that would definitely do it.
No.
Yeah, there's just intake at the bottom. Now that I look at the design of this front panel, wow. Actually, wow, that is really, really bad.
Show us the front
it
panel.
is.
Oh, no, okay, there's two slits all the way down the front panel. Here, we can look at this. This is beautiful. I mean, I modded this, obviously. However, this was just this black, or it's smoked acrylic that you can kind of see through. So, but they have two slits in it, and then at the bottom there's a handle. So, like, this comes off, and there you can see, like, cables and stuff. But yeah, there's a good amount of dust, and I really feel like this thing probably needs, like, a new front panel mod, to be honest. Like, this is nice and all,
Probably.
and I worked hard at it at one point. But I would
Yeah,
just
you can
open
see
all of
the
this
fur
up.
coat.
What's that?
Yeah, you can see that fur coat on that rat.
Yeah, dude, it hasn't been cleaned in a long time, it looks like. So that definitely needs a cleaning. And just the whole front just could get opened up quite a lot more, to be honest. Could be worse,
Take
yeah.
the front off and double check what your temps are. See how much it changes.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Hey, Hank. you
Okay,
said
so right now it's at
that-
72, 74. Let's leave this off to the side like this. So now we got it opened up again, and we'll see if it actually drops a good bit. Ooh, we actually just increased to 77. It's still going up, actually. Dang. Oh, 71. Ooh, I don't know. That could... I don't think dust could really cause that much of an issue. It might just need better static pressure fans, because like I said, there's some TT rings on the backside running at like 1,000, and some Be Quiet Silent Wings 3s or something on the front running at like 800. So there's really probably not too much air moving through there, and it's got dust. But it's doing all right. To be honest, like 77C at a max, and it's like hovering upper 60s, lower 70s is not even an unacceptable temperature range in my opinion. Once things get to like the 80s, I usually get worried, but that's just fine in my opinion. Yeah, Spicy Chicken even says could be worse.
Anytime on liquid, I say if you're above 60, you're a little hot.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you have like a custom loop, maybe more or less, you can say that. However, even mine runs a little warmer than that. Well, sitting here right now streaming, it's like upper 50s to mid 60s. It kind of fluctuates.
I'll leave it this way. I got the H110i, I believe it is.
Mm-hmm.
Basically the same damn thing. I'm mining, watching you, and got Discord open on 3 monitors, and my CPU sitting at 43 degrees.
Jesus. Yeah, that's not bad.
46.
This is not bad at all.
And that's basically the exact same thing as that Corsair.
Yeah, exactly. Totally wasn't hungry when I picked this.
I do have Corsair SP120s running full blast on it, though.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot different. I keep my fan speeds pretty low. My system's pretty quiet. And it's all in one loop, so it's a little bit more rough. However, I think we're going to wrap it up tonight. Dude, we got a bunch of people in Discord, though. That's kind of cool. Whoever else wants to come hang out in Discord, we're always around to hang out and talk tech or overclocking, whatever you want to do. Water cooling and modding is all good. Our Discord can be found. I shall link it in all the chats. In all of the Z chats, unless Carlos already did. I don't think he did. But here you go, Facebook and Twitch and YouTube. Everybody that's watching is welcome to come and join our Discord. We will be having a giveaway very soon for an 8700K and a Supremacy Evo, EK Supremacy Evo water block. So as soon as we hit 1,000 members in Discord, and we're like at like 20 left or something silly, and same thing with Facebook, we're only at like 20 or 30 left in that group as well. So join up, guys, and within this next week, I would have to assume we'll be starting to give away for a 8700K and a new block. So feel free to hop in, ask questions, and wherever else you want. But everybody in Discord, thank you. Everybody in the streams, thank you, and have a good night. Peace out, everybody.